They were loaded into the trucks like cattle. First, the deputies bound their hands with cord, securing Leon's twice to be sure, and forced them to march to the truck beds. They pushed Rolf and Leon into one and Cora and Nok into the other. Nok's knees connected hard against the truck bed. "Ow," she said with a grimace, and met Cora's eyes. "I'm worried about the baby." Cora shook her head sharply. It was better if the deputies didn't know Nok was pregnant. Her growing belly was more than 5 months along, but the frilly apron she'd taken from Sarassi's dollhouse experiment hid the bump. The truck roared to life. 2 deputies climbed in the back and tapped the side of the truck. A second before it took off, Dane jumped in too. He locked eyes with Cora as he settled in the truck bed across from her. The engine hummed and the truck started bouncing toward the town. Dust flooded the air, making Cora wish she had one of the cloths around her nose. She squinted out over the scrubland. Even if they got free, where would they run? They didn't know this moon. She pitched her head skyward, once more scanning uselessly for Bonebreak's ship. After a moment, she felt Dane's eyes on her. He glanced at the deputies who were staring toward the town and moved close enough so that they couldn't be heard over the engine's roar. "Why are you really here, Songbird?"
"Why are you?" she shot back angrily. "This hardly looks like the paradise you told us about."
He rubbed his chin anxiously. "Unfortunately, I have to admit you were right. I shouldn't have believed the Kindred. They told me if I obeyed them, I'd be richly rewarded. That was a lie. Well, you know how they are. They don't lie, but they don't tell the full truth either." His gaze turned to the dry, empty horizon, broken only by the Kindred's transport hub, tall and boxy, like a small power plant. "The good humans are brought here when they turn 19, but so are the bad ones. Everyone ends up here when they turn 19. The Kindred strip you of any of the markings they tagged you with, put you through processing there in that transport hub, and then dump you here so that Ellis can decide if you're a slave or a deputy."
"I don't see any iron chains around your wrists," Cora said, "so you must have done something right."
He smirked. "I was supposed to be a slave, sentenced to the root mines just like you'll be. But within hours of arriving, I overheard Ellis saying she wanted a drink. And if I learned anything in the hunt, it was how to mix a good cocktail. She made me a deputy instead, right on the spot." Cora rolled her eyes.
"Knowing what a suck-up you are, I'm not surprised you found a way into her good graces."
He glanced at the other deputies. "Why isn't Lucky with you?" His voice lingered on the name. Pain clenched Cora's heart. She couldn't help but think of the blood staining the ship's floor wherever Bonebreak had disappeared to. Dane had taken a close interest in Lucky in the hunt, one that might have been romantic if Lucky were into boys, and if Dane hadn't been such a bastard. "Lucky?" Her voice came out hollow. "He's gone." Dane's eyes went wide.
"Mosca killed him,"
she added, feeling a pang at the memory.
"He was trying to help us escape the station. He never gave up on freeing the humans there, and the animals too. On getting home."
Dane's face went slack, and he closed his eyes while he took a few deep breaths. For a second, Cora felt sorry for him. The only time he'd ever shown any kindness had been with Lucky. She touched the interior pocket of her safari uniform surreptitiously, glad they hadn't yet been searched by Ellis's deputies. She took the opportunity to quietly move Lucky's journal from her pocket to the back waistband of her pants, where it might be overlooked. The truck stopped. Dane opened his eyes and looked up. The sadness was fading from his eyes, and with it went Cora's sympathy for him. "We're here," he said coldly. The town looked different now that Cora inspected it more closely. When they had first found it after the dust storm, she had been heartened to see flowers in the window boxes and the town square cheerfully decorated as though for a dance. Now she saw that the flowers were artificial, and the dance posters were ancient, for a dance that probably never happened.